With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Let's go, D.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long.
11.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. Never ideal conditions in the snow for a kicker, but the first test on the opening drive, he passed it.
He certainly did. You know what the unit told me was their biggest issue playing in the snow? You just worry about something getting in your eye as the ball is snapped, and then you might miss it, and there goes 3 points off the board.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they all...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Mostert. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
11.
Here's Mostert. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It'll go as a 1st down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
Here we go. Like 20. Watch 54. Pick me up. Here we go.
On 1st down, here's Breida. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. Recon, 152 fighter.
Garoppolo. He'll get this into the hands of Breida.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here we go. 180. Mike 54. There's a party now. White.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
Here we go. 180. 65.
Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking that time for Dante Pettis, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
13.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain there of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here we go. 180. Right there, 54 Mike. Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw him on television. He said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Throwing again. Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. It's a gain of 15. First down, Seahawks. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? 14. What you got, Heavy? Hey, 0. Here we go. Check 3. Nice ball. Come on. 54, right there. 54, Mike. I'm scared. Took right.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. On 3rd down, Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Ready? 21.
Now Mostert. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. gun. It's Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. So on fourth down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Three 0 after one on EA Sports. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run it with Carson, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. His throw caught right around the 6. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
That drive was quick and impressive. Almost like they had somewhere else they needed to be after the game.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Nick Bosa make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Throwing is Wilson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A 12-yard touchdown grab. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. L.J. Collier. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long.
Shit. Hey, switch gears. Alert, flat.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the 1st half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Mike 54.
Friday.
Check 25.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. This is Homer. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Travis Homer, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is up to 18 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Now a man open down the middle of the field, and they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pick up there, 20 yards. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. Point after, up and good. And it makes the score 21-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Check. 14, front it.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Flush to his right. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On the delay, here's Carson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Gun. Check. 56 is the mic.
From the shotgun, Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Garoppolo looks to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And he comes back with one complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's go, team.
This is Mostert. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. The previous run good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Here we go, G. Get off the field. By 56, by 56.
Garoppolo now. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 20-yard line. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go. 11.
You.
Go.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25.
Here we go.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. The kick by Pinheiro is good. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow still continuing to fall as we are back underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. There's Garoppolo to throw. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. A gain of 6 there on first.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up second and 4 at their 48-yard line.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 33.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 33. Garoppolo gives to Breida, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Tackle coming from the safety, Trey Flowers.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Goodwin able to haul it in. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
Here we go. 11. Hey, box truck.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Check 37, check 37. Check. He's coming.
We got double up.
Hey. Check 50. Slam.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Pulled in at the 24. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180! 12, 12, pilot, 64, weak.
You got tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Let's go.
That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. They've kept him in check until that run. That's the first time he's really gotten loose in this game.
And they have to keep that in mind. Don't dwell on the fact that he finally had a big run. You kind of are counting on that as the game went on. Get back to what you were doing before. Start limiting him again.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. Check down to Breida. Oh, now Breida loses it. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy. All these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd.
Watch the slant.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Complete to Newsom. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. 1st down, Seahawks. Wilson now 8 of 17 so far, under 50%. Wilson. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Going on the ground with Homer. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
First down marker at the 31. It's third down. Here's Wilson. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 26.
Watch the curl. Shoot. Check nickel.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
It's second down and 10.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Mike, 54. Let's go double count right here. Double count.
Play action. Now Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. It'll be first and goal when we come back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Mike. Check. Watch 54. You must be dreaming. Check. Crouch.
Throwing again here. Wilson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is up to 15 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Garoppolo now, first down throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Garoppolo finding Goodwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? They'll run it now out of the gun. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. Running out of the gun here, Breida. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been a running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's first and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Now it's Breida. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
On 2nd and 7, Garoppolo flushed out right. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Marquise Goodwin with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. The point after is good, as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of...
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
I know you're looking at the scoreboard clock. We're getting near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180!
Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
13!
After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, that's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
120! 6!
Well, now a carry here for their fullback. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory.
And there's the pickup you want on first down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on first down, we'll take it. How about if you get 5? They'll really be happy.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. The 20. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's going to take in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Deebo Samuel, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter.
Hey, alert! Alert! Alert!
Now Garoppolo. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
So don't say nothing.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the fourth quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
Check 24, check 24.
Under 10, under 10, 10.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. On second down now, it's Carson, and tackled down after a gain of 3, leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. They run again with Carson. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he cuts it. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on third down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, pick up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
21, 21. Here we go.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He's going to air one out. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
I remember a coach told me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against him offensively. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Kill, kill, kill.
11, 11, 11, 11.
They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. And no, it's incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
380. Right there, 54 Mike. I'm coming. I'm coming.
I'll go special. I'll go special.
They'll run on first down. Carson, and forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Wilson to throw. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So the victory here for Seattle. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Seahawks, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with a win. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, they fall to 8-6 with the loss. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.